Good morning, good morning, good morning. I shall be starting shortly. This is how we're going. I'm just going to make sure that I am live on my channel. And I'm going to turn this down. All right, cool. Give me a few seconds. Happy Saturday. Good morning, good morning. Um, Turn that down. I got to make sure I'm good on this side. So I've got my camera here. Just want to switch up some things and we will be getting started. All right. Oh man, where did I put it? There's a graphic that I want to make sure I get in here. Let me make sure don't think I downloaded it. Dang it. Where are we at? Oh, got it. Let's give me 2 seconds. All right. Just want to make sure I got the right information for y'all. I know I'll put it up and completely lose it. So, okay. Yeah, let's see if we get this camera going. Let's see if we can get this camera going. Boom. Hey, good morning. Happy Saturday. My hair's a little trying to get it together. But if this is your first time joining us, welcome. My name is Keisha. I am the co-founder of Madam Green Grow, and my birthday was 2 days ago, so we had to get started just a tad bit later this morning. I had some friends over last night celebrating, so of course I am not as spring chicken as I used to be, but I've got my caffeinated beverage in the morning, the cup I'm using today. You're the best because I am absolutely the best, and you are too. It goes in line with what our topic is today. We Today's topic was based on this week's topic, which is community versus competition. But before that, if you have no idea who Madam Green Grow is, I'm going to go ahead and slide in our virtual pitch competition video, which will serve as our introduction while we prepare to record a proper trailer. So I am going to shift over here and get started. With support for legalization gaining steam, it was disheartening to hear that only 4% of businesses in the cannabis industry were owned by minorities and women of color. We plan to change that.
Hi, I'm Jamia Hunter.
And I'm Keisha Reed.
And we're Madam Green Grow.
Since 2016, Madam Green Grow formed as a community-based organization dedicated to the education, promotion, and celebration of women of color in the cannabis industry. Each month, we shift the culture by centering the cannabis conversation around various topics like business and our community. We found that the need for education and resources for gaining access to this industry was the next step, and we are looking to impact and change the lives of women of color who just need the keys to jumpstart their journey. By expanding our education platform with live and virtual trainings centered around ownership and growth, $1,000 will be the catalyst and infrastructure we need to reach that goal.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Boom. All right. So we are back. I'm going to wait till I'm here. Perfect. I'm good on this camera. But, as you can see, we started Madam Green Grow in 2016 because we saw that there was a space that needed to be filled. And just like we mentioned as we transitioned into our post of the week, uh, there were organizations who were doing things like what we were trying to do. We wanted to have a place for women of color to kind of talk about their experience. We wanted to have a place for women of color to be able to feel safe in a community. And we also wanted to have a place for women of color to really actually, learn about the business, without the huge membership cost and fees and things like that. Now, down the pipeline, we've got some great resources and tools that we've developed that are coming into the community to help really build and fund our community. But, up until this point, a lot of the information that we've provided has been free or at low cost. So we just, we understand that access is important. Community is a really big pillar of the organization. So this was a topic that was on my heart, and I really wanted to talk about it because the mean girl syndrome is not necessarily just in cannabis, it's in every industry. I transitioned from tech, it's there. I'm in a government community mindset, through my 9 to 5, it's there. Everyone place that mean girl, bossy, micromanaging piece, and there's a reason why, and we talk about that in the article. But first, I am big on words, so let's go ahead and break down the difference between community versus competition by defining what community and competition are. So I'm going to turn to my left and take a look at my notes. So competition is defined as the act or process of trying to win or get something that someone else is trying to get. Straight like that. Someone else, there's a big goal that everyone is reaching for, and you're competing against them to get that at the same time, right? So community. So community had a few different definitions, but this one I thought was more poignant based on the topic that we have at hand. Community is a fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals, right? That community, that village. A lot of the times we talk about fam or tribe in a lot of the language that we use when we're talking to our audience, because community for us is just like family. Community for us is not necessarily going door to door to get a cup of sugar, but hey, cash at me $5 so I can have a meal because dang, something or another happened and I need to be able to lean on you as, a person who can help me out. So community for us has always been a very much family oriented piece. And when we started the topic around the conversation, it really had to do with the fact that there's a bit of a scarcity mindset going around when it comes to building a business, building a community, building an empire, building a family, because we are completely engrossed in social media. And social media gives us a very warped sense of reality. You don't see the piles of clothes that have been sitting in the front room for weeks. You get the nicely manicured, edited shot from the side looking at this amazing color panel in someone's house. You don't see their child is thrown up on the floor on the other side, right? You see the great talks and the conferences and the panels, but you don't see the person freaking out behind the scenes. And one of the things that we want to do moving forward with a lot of our messaging is breaking down a lot of those stigmas. It sucks building a business sometimes because you are stretching yourself way beyond mediocrity, right? Or mediocrity. A lot of people are afraid to break out of that season of being average because they're scared. And they're not scared of what will happen. They're scared of when it happens, what will I do next? Because you know it's going to happen. You've manifested it in your life. You've thought about it. You've prayed about it. You write about it in all of your journals. You think about it when you listen to the hour-long podcast driving to work. But the idea of actually following through and executing on that freaks you out. But when you see someone else in the social space or in your offline world who has done something very similar to you or actually did the exact same thing you wanted to do, it's almost as if you don't see that as a sign of, hey, someone else did it, so can I. You kind of see it as a sign of, well, dang, they stole my idea, or I was just thinking about that. Or if I had X, right? If I had money, if I had time, if I looked like this, if my squad was this, if I lived here. No. Your competition, similar to what we mentioned in the article, your competition is yourself. Your competition is your ego. And your competition is the fact that you won't push past mediocrity. So, the three tips we dropped in the article to kind of help you break that mean girl syndrome is one, we really want you to shift your mindset. You have to shift your mindset. You can no longer think from a place of lack, but think from a place of abundance. Now, I know a lot of you just went, here she goes with that woo woo stuff. We will talk more about that in a couple of weeks because your mind is the most powerful tool that you have in your control, right? At the end of the day, what happens to you, how it affects you is based on how you relate to it. And that's all up here. So, jumping to the three reasons or three ways you can break that mean girl syndrome. The first one is start a conversation. I said this really nice in the article. People have their everyday struggles, and people, we all are carrying the weight on our shoulders. But at the end of the day, the reason why you fear competition is because you think that the people you're competing against actually know who you are, and they don't. I'm sorry to say that. They have no idea who you are. So get out of your own self. Get out of that egotistic mindset that you have, that because you put up a post or because you've written this article or because you were featured somewhere, that the person who may necessarily be in your circle actually knows who you are and knows what you're doing. Second thing is pay attention to that energy that comes up when you get that sense of envy, right? Think to yourself, why do I feel this way? And then take it a step further and say, now what am I going to do about it? Because often we realize that we feel, some type of way because X, Y, and Z. Trace that back to something that may have happened in your life or affected you via family or friends, and understand that it's really you. You really are the one with the issue, and you have to be able to work through that to be able to build an effective community. Because at the end of the day, if you don't shift these mindsets, if you don't fix those generational or shifts within yourself, if you don't fix the idea of lack, you will never be abundant. You will never be able to build a community, and it will only seep down into the community that you build. So let's get up outside of ourselves and really help build a community. Third thing is find a way to collaborate, right? There are, like I said, tons of organizations who do things similar to the way that Madam Green Grow does them, right? In my professional life, I work in digital marketing and social media. Tons of people are in that space, right? But what makes me different is that I have a little bit of a different spin. Data numbers are big for me, so I'm always tracking insights, I'm always tracking numbers. But I realized that seeing other people, grow in social media, work on different projects. I'm very handsy, y'all. Grow in social media, work on different projects, rather than sit back and go, oh, she got that campaign again. I actually said, hey, I saw you do amazing numbers on the Coca-Cola campaign. What did you find that worked well for you? And how can I, learn that skill or, things like that, or just compliment them, right? You never know what a person is really working, how hard behind the scenes they're working and actually doing some of the things that you want to do and what time it takes to get into that groove. So show them a little bit of appreciation, because appreciation and kindness will take you a long way. And then straight up, ask them how they did it. That's truly the only way. So, recapping those three tips: breaking that mean girl syndrome. One, start the conversation because they have no idea who you are. Trust me, they don't. Two, pay attention to your energy. Ask questions as to why you feel a certain way, or just why you in your feelings. Figure out why that is the case. And then the third thing is to find a way to collaborate. Find a way to find a common thread that connects you to this person, this brand, this organization, this product, this thought, this mindset, this coach. Because at the end of the day, you want to be where they are, right? That's why you feel some type of way. Figure out a way that they can help you grow to that point while giving them something in return. Never start a relationship, a conversation, a collaboration, a contract without setting goals and outcomes that work for both parties or multiple parties, right? And that's it. That is the way to break that mean girl syndrome. That's the way we're talking about community versus competition. I do want to leave you with one thing. And before we move on to our closing, I am hoping that I put it up, but I am just going to slide it really quickly. Give me 2 seconds. When we're talking about community versus competition, a lot of the times we try to we really try to make sense of some of the things that's happening around us and why they happen, right? So, talking about that season of lack, talking about, the ways in which we can really build and grow and kind of break those those hurts, those mindset shifts, and came up with a little mantra. So I'm not sure if in this article or if on the blog we had the community versus competition. We can all eat. Eat is an acronym that is a little bit of a colloquial thing that's in the DMV. There's a clothing line called Eat, and the Eat is really good. But kind of shifting and thinking about what Eat really could be as it relates to your empire, this is what we had. EAT can be a 3-letter acronym for execute, attain, and thrive. We can all execute on the work that we want to do. We can all attain the things that we want while building our businesses. And we can all thrive while doing that. And the key to doing that is making sure that we have a community mindset first. So that is, we'll make sure we toss that on the social media and have that conversation started. But that's it for, this week's building and balancing series, the MGG Live series. There's a few names for them. Just roll with it. This is our ongoing live series where we can communicate with you after we post the content. So, just a few announcements that we have coming up. Tomorrow, if you have not signed up for the webinar, you still can. The free webinar that we're hosting, Building Your Cannabis-Based Business on the Go, you'll see me in this environment, and we will help you get 100% clear on how you can build that business from your smartphone, from your computer, from anywhere that allows you to do it without being stationary. It's 2019. We are really in the thick of building our businesses, building our empires while we grow and live. So, if you are interested in this webinar, we're going to close the doors for sign up around 1 p.m. Eastern Time today. So, you can go to madamgreengrow.com/webinar. Gosh, that backslash was almost giving me 92 vibes. Also, we have our masterclass series coming up. That is next weekend. It'll be a 2-part class. We'll be talking a bit about really diving deep into building your business, shifting those mindsets, strategies, and tools. The webinar definitely will give you a taste of what the masterclass is going to be. So we are truly excited to expand our educational and community offerings and really build a organization and a community of women of color who are geared to take over the cannabis industry. That's our goal. That in our become the number one resource for women of color in cannabis. So we thank you in helping us get to those positions. We thank you for your support. It is Saturday. It's 9:51. Looking at the timer, I hit 19 minutes. Thank you for bearing with us. We will see you, if I don't see you soon in the webinar, I'll see you in the masterclass or around the internet. So have a great Saturday, and we will talk to you later.